Mastermind.
What's going on, everybody? Today was Gamescom 2015 and Microsoft had a really good show today. What I want to talk about specifically though is Killer Instinct Season 3. I am really excited over the announcement, and of course today we're going to have Rash from Battletoads. It's a really big deal if you're a Battletoads fan, a Killer Instinct fan, somebody from the 90s like I am. Who grew up playing video games in the 90s. I am really excited about this. From the trailer that they showed, and I did post it on the video, I'll put the description on there so you can see the announcement if you haven't already. But from the trailer that they showed and the announcement that they made, he looks really cool, he looks fun, he looks a little, I'm going to say though, he looks slightly out of place from some of the other characters. I know that might seem weird because I don't think any other fighting game you can have a werewolf go up against a Japanese anime style character and a spider chick, and so there's a lot of variety as far as the characters are concerned, but he seems a little bit more over the top, if that's even possible, for Killer Instinct. But I'm kind of waiting still to reserve my judgment on that until I actually get my hands on it and play it. Until then, just from what I saw in the trailer, he looks super hype, so I am really excited for that. I think it's going to be a really big deal because the character itself is going to add a lot, kind of like what Cinder did, kind of like I would say even what the announcer does. It's going to add a lot of hype to it, and that's going to be really great. Other things worth mentioning, the PC version, like I said, is coming out around the same time, or actually at the same time during the launch. All of your fight sticks, everything like that is going to work. It's going to be a cross-platform play, so you'll be able to play online against people playing on PC, and PC people will be able to play people who are playing on Xbox One, and that's going to be really cool because it expands the community, which is what we want, right? This is what we've been asking for. Another really cool aspect to this announcement, even though it was kind of vague as far as the information is concerned, what new modes, how many characters we're going to get. Obviously, they'd announced what characters we were going to get. So not too much information came out, but I think it is exciting to know that all of this is designed to keep this community going. And I think that's a big deal because Killer Instinct, it's not as popular as Mortal Kombat or Smash, or obviously nowhere near as popular as Street Fighter. But as far as gameplay is concerned, in many ways, Killer Instinct is the best playing game out there. I know a lot of Street Fighter guys are going to argue with me on that, but it's very balanced, and that brings me to my next point. Some rumors and some things indicate that this may come out as a complete package, and the reason why anyone would speculate that is because it's not going to be released until March of 2016, and they're already working on it, obviously, because Rash from Battletoads is going to be available. They've probably been working on it for 9-10 months now. With that said, it seems like it would be a logical thing that they release more than one character at a time for the next season. Whether it's going to be all the characters or just a couple of them at a time, or even if they go one each, it's going to be interesting to see how they do that. So the question is, one would have to ask themselves, if they decide to release it with all 8 characters at the same time, or 6 characters, or however many characters they're going to release, is it going to be as balanced as Season 1 and 2? Right now, like I said, I think it's the most balanced fighting game out there, but will it continue to maintain that same sort of thing? And if they do release a bunch of characters at once, are they going to do monthly updates? I know tournament players aren't too fond of that, but let's be real here. A lot of tournament players, they find these exploits and take advantage of a lot of these system flaws, and they use that to their advantage in the tournament, and then the developers have to turn around and patch the game because of what they saw in the tournaments. And at the end of the day, the tournament players are trying as quickly as they can to find the best advantages that they can with their characters, and then they exploit it during the tournaments, where with Killer Instinct, I think part of the thing that makes it so incredible is that there aren't as many exploits that these characters, that these players can use during the tournament. So it kind of makes it more of an even playing field. I'm not going to say it's perfect because nothing ever is, but I will say that it's much more balanced than what we see, let's say, from MKX. And that's why Killer Instinct, to me, is the most balanced fighting game available. So it's going to be, I'm wondering what they're going to do for Season 3 and how that's going to play. They're going to have a lot of time to have these characters fully designed and looking awesome. And who knows, maybe they're going to spend a lot of their time tweaking a lot of things. And maybe that's why we're getting a beta of Rash. And that's going to last, by the way, from today all the way until September 8th. Now, there's not all good news coming out of this, because if you're someone like me, I'm a big Killer Instinct fan, and it's become one of my favorite games of all time, this particular version. What's going to happen when Street Fighter V comes out? Street Fighter V also debuts in March. So I don't know what Microsoft was thinking. Were they thinking, okay, PlayStation has Street Fighter V, and that's exclusive to PlayStation 4, so we're going to release Season 3 at the same time? I think that's kind of a foolish thing to do. Let's be real. Killer Instinct, as far as popularity is concerned, is nowhere near Street Fighter. And it's unfortunate, because in the 90s, Killer Instinct, Mortal Kombat, and Street Fighter were all kind of neck and neck. Street Fighter was above them slightly, and at one point, I think Mortal Kombat had even eclipsed Street Fighter a little bit. But Killer Instinct always hovered there, kind of like in third place, but it was pretty close. But because they waited so long to release any more sequels to Killer Instinct, Street Fighter continued its popularity, and so did Mortal Kombat, where Killer Instinct just kind of fell off the map. So for them to compete now, it's not the same. It's not getting the same kind of attention. It doesn't get as many watches during EVO, during the streams. But even though, from somebody who plays all of these fighting games, I have to say that it's the most balanced game out there. And I know some Street Fighter guys might take issue with that, but it just is. And part of that reason is because they were releasing one character at a time and making sure that he was totally balanced or she was totally balanced. And if not, they would tweak it. And they did this every single month. They got feedback from the community. They, took a lot of that data, and they were able to fix a lot of these things. Where Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat, and almost every other fighting game that comes out just releases all of these characters, and then they give you a bunch of DLC characters, and then they just kind of leave it alone, unbalanced and unchecked for the most part. We get patches here and there, but it's not like what Killer Instinct was doing. By the way, 2016 comes along, and I'm going to be playing Street Fighter V. I'm also going to be playing Killer Instinct Season 3. I probably will not be playing any Mortal Kombat X. I really haven't been playing it. I'm going to do a video on that pretty soon, explaining the reasons why. I don't dislike the game, but I do have some issues with the game that kind of breaks it for me. But that's another subject. So anyway, what do you think about this announcement? What do you think about Rash becoming available for a month for us to test out? What do you think of the character itself, its design? So I'm interested in seeing what your thoughts are on that. So don't forget to leave a comment. Like my video, please share and subscribe. I do appreciate your support. Mastermind out. Thank you once again for watching. If you enjoyed this video and other videos, please don't forget to click subscribe on the screen and tune in for more videos. Thanks again for watching. Mastermind out.